Have you ever felt a fear that just drives you crazy? A fear that makes it impossible to focus on your work, your tasks, your life? Maybe your mind starts to feel like a different universe, a parallel world you didn't ask for, but that completely takes over your thoughts. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. It's called anxiety, and it's one of the biggest health challenges of our century. Globally, about 1 in 7 people, that's roughly 1.1 billion people, live with a mental health disorder like anxiety or depression. Mental health conditions are the leading cause of disability worldwide, meaning they affect more people's day-to-day functioning than many major physical illnesses. Before we go further, a quick note. This video is for educational purposes only. It's not a substitute for professional medical or mental health advice. If you're struggling, please reach out to a licensed professional. Also, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of the upcoming episodes. In this video, we're going to explore what anxiety really is, why quick fixes often don't work, and why anxiety is so much more complex than most people realize. Later in the series, we'll break it down into stages: vulnerability, triggers, and ongoing anxiety, so you can understand it deeply and start navigating it in your own life. Before we dive in, I want to ask you, have you ever felt anxiety take over your thoughts? Type yes or share a short story in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. 1. The hidden side of anxiety. You can experience anxiety in different forms, from mild, short-lived moments like stress at work to the more severe types that can lead to depression or other serious mental health challenges. People often give advice like, don't be afraid, or just pray. Prayer is powerful, but too often the advice is shallow. It's given without real care, without listening, and without any attempt to understand what you're actually going through. When people can't see a logical reason for your pain, they dismiss it, and that only makes the struggle heavier. People who have experienced anxiety often say it's almost impossible to describe. Words just don't reach what it feels like if you haven't been there yourself. It's more than stress or worry. It's a kind of fear that twists your mind, distracts you from what matters, and sometimes makes you feel trapped inside your own thoughts. This is the hidden side of anxiety. It's not just a racing heartbeat or worrying about the future. It's the kind of fear that sits deep inside, sometimes so subtle you don't even notice it until it hits. 2. Why quick fixes may not work. There isn't a one-size-fits-all instant cure for anxiety, like do this and feel better immediately. Sure, some quick fixes might help a small number of people temporarily, but if instant solutions really worked for everyone, we wouldn't be facing the highest levels of anxiety in human history. Think about it. When a treatment for a deadly disease is found, it can stop an epidemic that kills hundreds of thousands, even millions. But with anxiety, despite countless remedies and advice offered over the years, mental health problems are still on the rise, now considered one of the biggest health challenges in the world. 3. Our perspective, a holistic view. We personally subscribe to this view. Anxiety is deeply connected to our relationship with God, the people around us, and how we relate to society. It's shaped by our perception of truth, our beliefs, and even the chemistry in our own bodies. It's a mind-blowing amount of stimuli, complex, intertwined, and only God truly has full control over. We also can't separate our spiritual experiences from our human ones. Take hormonal changes after giving birth, for example. It can trigger anxiety or depression that feels completely overwhelming. When these changes are truly understood and supported, they're often temporary. But when they're dismissed or misunderstood, the pain can linger far longer than it ever should. Sometimes we face problems or consequences because of decisions we've made that weren't aligned with God's design. And then we ask for help. But God wants us to return to the way things were intended from the beginning, so we can either avoid the problem completely or surrender and let Him take control of our lives. To understand and address the raw experience of anxiety, not just surface-level tips or quick fixes, we're breaking it down into 3 stages. In the episodes to come, we'll explore each one in depth. The 3 stages we'll cover are vulnerability, why some moments leave us exposed; triggers, what sparks the fear; ongoing anxiety, why it keeps coming back. Understanding anxiety requires acknowledging its spiritual, social, psychological, and biological layers. And that's what we'll start exploring in this series. Stay tuned and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's coming next.